Get this, adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Wondery. Greenlight.com/Wondery. Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Ricey. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the radio and Garage Logic podcast. I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk and not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 to book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. That's 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did, and tell him Ricey sent you. Don't forget to ask, why is it 48 minutes, Josh?
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Ricey is a paid endorser.
To hear this song. I wish I could have seen some of them games in Frisco.
Oh, man, no, you don't. Didn't do much hitting. I missed yesterday's. I was at the Lynx game. And
18,000 people.
And I was at the Lynx game, and apparently our boys... 6 innings, perfect game for Blake Snell, right? Mm-hmm. Who's won a couple of Cy Youngs, but had not pitched good this year until his last start because they put him on the disabled list for a while. But they got nothing for 6 innings. How fast was that game going? That was, I looked at my phone.
It was over by the time we got back into the car from our game.
I looked at my phone after about an hour and 15 minutes. It was a 7th inning. It was amazing how fast our fellas were making out. So, anyway, they've stopped hitting, Joe, and now the injury bug has returned.
What about Correa?
Correa has the same thing on his right foot that he had last year, the old plantar fasciitis.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to pronounce, impossible to spell.
Doesn't that mean athlete's foot?
No, that means this piece of material that holds your heel to underneath your toes there.
Yeah.
That deal there is screwed up. Stretched out. And the only way to cure it is when it rips. So last year he had it for 5-6 weeks, and then it ripped, and then he was okay.
And you can fix it?
But now you can't rip it. You can't just have a surgeon rip it. You got to do it yourself. And so he's got to play with it. And he bailed out on the All-Star game. And everything, the pain kind of goes away. Well, you might not have the same strength in it, but
217 yesterday. 217.
217, yeah.
Was time of game.
And otherwise, it might have lasted longer if Brooks hadn't thrown the ball in the
Little League home run.
Little League home run.
Called that. That's great.
Is that what Perky said?
Perky said a Little League home run. It was fantastic.
Well, anyway, that's good. But yeah, I didn't see that game. But they didn't hit this week after, the old Ricey theory. When you hit, you look pretty good.
That's
when you
right.
don't, you don't. And
Where were you when you got news that somebody took a shot at Trump?
God, I was watching something. I didn't even know it for like 3-4 hours because I hadn't been on Twitter and couldn't tell. And, my immediate reaction was, I'm anti-assassination.
Yep.
And now the jackass is going to win. That was my other thing. But he was going to win anyway. So what difference does it make?
I wonder if Biden will run.
Oh, why not? He might as well now. And it doesn't. Kamala get beat worse than him.
Well, she beats Trump in Poland.
Not anymore.
Probably not.
Not
now.
anymore. Now that he's bulletproof.
Yeah.
That
How many guys
people-
Pat, get shot at and then show up for their tea time?
Yeah, what a warrior. God,
He is a warrior.
He's just such a noble person. I can't, he's just unbelievable. He's just, okay, I'm going to say it now.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
I still hate him.
Yeah.
Okay, but
But you're
I
anti-assassination.
don't like this stuff happening. No, I'm not. The only guy I want to see assassinated is Putin. If somebody puts a bullet in his head, I'll be happy.
Me too.
Okay.
Why don't we try? Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go. Well, Trump's his buddy, so he's not going to do it. We got to do it before January the 6th or 7th or whenever it is, right?
Yeah.
How about the gal in Florida saying you can't have a special prosecutor?
Yep.
We had a special prosecutor to investigate a guy who had oral sex in the Oval Office. That was worth a special prosecutor, but stealing documents that you're going to sell to the Saudis is not. It's unconstitutional. So that's. By the way, if we elect Donald, and he gets an opening, Sotomayor or somebody, she's going to be on the Supreme Court. The woman in Florida is going to be on the Supreme Court. So anyway, that's it. That's all my.
That is your update.
I'm still. I'm glad he's still alive. Okay, and I'm glad it was just a flesh wound.
Well, it's a miracle. This
was a
thing
flesh
missed him
wound.
by an eighth of an inch.
Oh God Almighty! Let's see. What's the range from the ear to the forehead? So
No, you don't have to hit a guy in the
Well,
forehead.
you got to get up there.
No,
Somewhere.
you get the side of the head would be enough.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Bad. I'm not going to say anything about it. But the kid really looks like a weenie when you see the pictures, doesn't he? And he apparently had no real political motive. He just did it for attention or
Something
something.
to do.
Right? Yeah. I saw his old man's quotes. He says, I don't know. I got to figure out what the hell's going on.
See, I'll never understand that.
No.
But I'm not going to go into it. I mean, if you don't know your kid's going off to shoot somebody.
Well, sometimes your kid's just a pain in the ass and you can't stand to be around them. Maybe that was it. Who knows?
Yeah, but don't you think you would have known if...
Yeah, I would. I would have certainly. Well, they're a little old now. I mean, don't do this.
You got to turn it on.
It's
the
not
silent
Caitlin Clark asking why you stepped on her cell phone, is it?
Let me. By the way, whoever it is hung up already. But let me.
You got to tell the audience that story. That's pretty good.
Didn't I tell them already?
Well, you
No.
told the off-air
You
portion.
didn't
of
tell the listening public.
Okay, give me 1 second to find my settings. And
Well,
then
no,
I
just
put
go
it
to
on
the side of your
airline, then I go
phone.
to airline
No,
mode,
just
and
turn it
then
on
it's
to
fine.
silent.
I am
That's
turning
fine.
off my notifications.
All right. So I get this idea at halftime to see if her center from Watertown, Minnesota, Monica Zanano, is in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a hold of the very competent PR guy for the women's basketball team at the U, Trenton Gathier is pronounced. I said, I need Maggie's cell phone. And he sends it to me, her sister, who sits on the bench for the Gophers. And I text Maggie and say, are you guys here today? And she responds in the middle of the third period. Yes, they are, middle of the third quarter, but they're sitting way up in the boonies, 226 and way up in the corner. So, but they're going to come down after the game, and they're going to try to get down the court so Monica can say hello to Caitlin, because she played in Hungary for 8 months, so she hadn't seen her for ever.
But they were teammates at Iowa.
Yeah, she was their center for 3 years, and a very good catcher of Caitlin's passes. You get the ball. She's a good-sized girl.
Why is she not in the WNBA?
She's not quite quick enough. She's not very quick. So anyway, she's going to medical school, by the way.
Right.
So, very bright girl. But anyway, this whole thing's going on. And eventually, Monica, after she has to sign autographs for 10 minutes from every little Iowan kid around, she gets down to the court, and Caitlin comes.
Does Caitlin know she's coming down?
Yeah, she must have, because she comes out of the tunnel, and then she runs and she jumps into her big arms, and because they used to kind of do that after games, and they're out there buddies, and I'm walking down to get to the bench seats there where the teams sit to talk to Monica as soon as she's done talking to Caitlin. And Caitlin suddenly comes over and says, "You stepped on my cell phone." And I said, "What?" She says, and then she grabbed it. It was down in a garment down on. But I did not step. If I stepped on it, it was lightly, not with the full force of my.
It wasn't shattered.
No, it wasn't. And if I'd stepped on it full force, she wouldn't have a functional cell phone anymore. But it would have been a national story if I broke. Because
I think so.
I'm thinking she's got a high-powered, a lot of gigs. I think she's got a lot of gigs, and she might have a lot of good stuff in there, right? That she keeps to show people. She's got, when I met Michael Jordan, when I met, the president, when I met everybody else, it might be in there, and it could have been lost forever. But anyway.
It could have been a fitting epitaph to your views of women's basketball as they go back through the history.
We don't have those views anymore.
Right.
We've changed the views.
March 2nd, 1991, I believe. 1991. Tiptoed ball throwing.
Now you should tell Caitlin that you're the one who invented
I discovered her, but I didn't feel as though she wanted to carry on a conversation.
I know I
with
just
me.
cracked the screen on your phone, but I did discover you.
Yes, right. Nobody would have. You think there'd be 18,900 people here today if it wasn't for me going down to Des Moines and then going to Iowa City and then driving home to honor your greatness?
Was she a
as
freshman?
Sophomore.
Okay.
Sophomore. But anyway, they had 9,000 for the Gopher game and thought they were phenomenal that day that the Gophers were there. So it was just starting up then.
Was there a robust amount of activity from the Iowegians that headed to downtown Minneapolis?
Oh, I'm sure they were just spending money left and right. I estimated at $4 a head once they got on,
I read that.
Yes. But
I thought that was very unkind.
But it was funny though, because when they got the last rebound and there's about 23 seconds to go, and it was now obvious they're going to win. The roar was, you're on the road, and the roar could have been the Timberwolves beating Denver.
Joe, I will say this, having married into an Iowa family, I can see the $8 for parking.
20 if you were in they were charging 20, and that ramp wasn't too full. These people were parking
they'll drive around and around.
They were parking blocks away to try to save their money.
Now, Caitlin left school.
Yeah, but she's a senior. She graduated.
She did graduate.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Well, maybe she
had a year of eligibility left.
Yeah,
but
she could have because of the
COVID.
She took her hard-earned degree.
Yes, and a lot of people thought she should come back because she's going to make more money in NIL. Because the WNBA still doesn't pay much, but she wanted to get in and play against the best. And she's just set a WNBA record with 15 games left for most turnovers.
Really?
Because of those passes that she was throwing to her mates with Iowa. She used to get 5-6 turnovers a game because she's a great passer in addition to everything else. But she's still, she's a dynamic player, but this was one of her worst games. She didn't shoot well, and she was 1 for 7 she was 2 for 11 on threes. She was 1 for 7 at halftime. So, but every time she made a shot, the crowd went crazy.
The Vikes have a little problem with Jordan Addison.
So here's the deal.
All right.
Last year, he's going 140.
The wrong way. He wasn't even heading for Minneapolis.
No, and he
That was the dog, right?
He was alleged to go racing to see his sick dog,
right.
Except he lived west and he was driving east.
Sure.
So that was a problem. Maybe he's just confused. But at what time of the morning was that?
That was about 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning. He was going 140. So when you go on 140...
Oh, it's 3:15 a.m.
3:15. And when you're going 140 at 3:15 a.m.
Which I would if I owned that car.
And you end up getting stopped, and they fine you less than $1,000, and the team says you shouldn't do that again, and they suspended him for 2 days or
something
workouts
like that,
or something. You basically whitewash it, right?
Right.
You're going 140.
Right.
So now Kyrie Jackson dies in the crash in Maryland.
Yep.
And I'm convinced that it had to be 2 cars of young people racing, like they have want to do now. If you're ever on 94 at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can see. Well, not 3, 4 in the afternoon, you can see it. But he dies, and he'd only been with the team since spring, right?
Just a couple of weeks.
Spring draft.
Yep.
And I can't find the tweet because obviously Jordan's Twitter account has been he took it down. But he was some pithy tweet about fly safely, young man, or young Kyrie, or something like that. Some pithy remark about, live fast, that kind of thing. And a week later, allegedly, he's drunk in a Rolls Royce, sleeping in an active lane on the Los Angeles freeway out by the airport. Mm-hmm. Now, was it only 150? Was it 3:15 our time or 3:15 their time?
Well, the 3:15 is when he got nailed for the 140 miles an hour. And this one was I don't know what time this was.
1-something in the morning. Yeah. 1:50. There's traffic.
Yeah, it's
He's
L.A.
lucky somebody didn't. And the other thing is, what was the car he had at the 140? Lamborghini, and now he's got the Rolls.
It's the Rolls.
I got news for him. Remember that 30 by 30 about broke?
Oh, yeah.
Broke former players?
He's heading there.
He got some money up front.
He's not saving it.
You're not saving it on cars. And listen, son, you keep acting like this, you're only going to get one contract, and you're going to end up, you're going to be like my friend Keith McCants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Keith McCants, who said he was going to make the last child payment to his baby mama. He owed her $50,000, and he was going to jail, and he was driving to give her the $50,000, which was his severance check from the Atlanta Falcons. Jaguars. And he saw a Hummer he saw a Hummer and gold one, and he just had to have it.
Had to have that Hummer.
Went in and spent that money.
He was of all the people in that series, that show, he was the saddest character of them all.
I had to have that Hummer.
Now, this guy's got more money than Keith ever got, but he's doing his best to get rid of it. But if you're the Vikings, you got to, the NFL can suspend him 3 games, and I bet they will. Don't you think?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They got to fix him somehow.
Yeah, they do.
They need him.
Yeah, oh, God, yes, because they got Jefferson, and they don't have really any other wide receivers, and then Hawkinson, the tight end, is hurt, so he's not going to play.
Aren't these slugs starting up any day now?
It's
July.
A week, right?
I believe rookies report on Monday, a week from today.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I thought I read that somewhere.
Well, the bride and I are heading off to Cooperstown Thursday morning.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop in Philly. She's never been there. And then drive it up there because we don't like changing planes.
Right.
So, and it's only 4.5, and then we'll come back Monday. So we're going to have to do the always popular Monday Sports Talk on a different day next week. So
we can do that.
Okay, not on a Tuesday.
No, not on a Tuesday because there's emergency situations taking place on Tuesday. So maybe a Wednesday.
Wednesday would work.
Contractual tea time.
Yeah,
Wednesday would work.
I haven't asked you how are you hitting it this year?
Better than a month ago. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Is it because of the foot?
I can't. I'd love to say it's because of the foot. It might be because I'm.
You usually have that little uplift.
Yeah.
In the middle of the summer.
Yeah, I think I'm in that right now.
Then you get the August slump. And then by September, you don't want to play anymore, right? No.
But I'm in the uplift.
Swear in about it.
Yes, that's right. That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. So, how about, okay, I got to complain about golf.
All right.
McIntyre, did you see this?
I saw the highlights.
He hits it in the weeds.
Right.
Which there are like this.
And you, by the way, you know where that course is.
Right next
there.
Right where we stayed.
Yep.
He's in the weeds, and there's a sprinkler head in the weeds.
Right.
And they give him a drop.
Yeah.
That is absolute horse crap.
That really is. I did not see that.
Because he's in the weeds,
Did he get to drop it out on short grass?
Oh, he got a club length that allowed him to get a clean shot, and he ended up making an eagle.
That's not right.
No, it's not. This whole idea of the drops that they're allowed to make is ridiculous. You hit it behind a building, and then so far offline, and then all of a sudden you don't have to take a stroke penalty to move it.
I wish I would have seen it. I didn't see it. Boy, he was a happy victor, though.
Oh, yes. Well, so was, because he was pretty well. Adam Scott had him beat, and then all of a sudden he made a birdie and an eagle the last couple of holes. But
I was rooting for Scott.
I was too.
I like him.
It's been a long time.
He's 47.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was going to be the next. He was Tiger's #1 challenger for about 10 minutes, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it was fun to hear McIntyre talk because that thick Scottish accent. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they were very happy about it.
Now, winning that gets him into the Open, obviously.
Oh, I think he was in it.
Maybe.
He's had some good finishes.
Yeah.
Last year he finished top 5.
Now, have you been to Royal Troon?
No.
Neither have I.
I have not. Is that where the Open is this year? Yeah. There's, Rory. I saw enough of it to know Rory still can't putt. He was hitting it close again. He got that little 7-footer, 8-footer, can't make him. But the British, and then the next week we got our tournament. It'll be interesting to see
3M.
what field. It'll be interesting to see what field we end up with.
You're going to have Tony Finau.
Yeah, he's showing up. A former champion, the biggest name champion they've had. He plays all the time, man. He's something.
And he brings the whole family.
Yeah.
About 10 kids. They got to live in a hotel room.
Yeah. He can afford 2
Maybe
hotel
now
rooms.
he can afford a house.
Yeah, he
to
probably
rent.
does. Hollis probably finds him a house.
Yeah.
Up there, probably on the course.
They're going to have a great weekend for that. Oh,
the weather
no,
supposed to be
wait.
good?
This weekend's British Open. Then 3M.
Then 3M. Are we going to finally get no more rain?
Apparently, after today, we're supposed to have a long, dry stretch.
We got Did you lose power?
No, but across the street they did.
Wow. But 75,000 homes, they said. It's a miracle it wasn't our house. We got the 4-second blip, just long enough for me to cast an aspersion, and then I came back on and it didn't go out. But ours always goes out, and they always have power across the street. But this time it didn't happen. So that's I still am too cheap to get the generator. I got to get the generator.
You do got to get the generator.
You need the generator.
You know what? I'm thinking I might want one.
Yes.
I mean,
'cause it's if the basement floods here, they don't insure it.
That's right.
It's either get a generator or a couple more pots when you got to bail out the water.
Yeah, a bigger pot. Yes. Next time I'm starting with the pan.
There you go.
I'm not starting with the cup.
When it's raining
By
hard.
the way, my sump pump has been running every day.
Me too.
For like a month.
When it's raining real hard, you put a bucket outside to save the rainwater for water in the plants?
No,
Okay.
I don't do that.
Let me guess. You do.
I did the other night, and I thought it was a great idea. But then when it came to pour the water on the plants, I had to use a cup because the damn bucket was too heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It filled it in a heartbeat.
We've had enough rain that they don't need to be watered, do they?
But I got a couple that are under a little shelter type thing, and they got to get the water
okay.
to them.
All right, I see. Okay.
Busy day at the suturing house?
Well, I had some time. Thought I'd figure out a rain barrel.
I don't know what our plant situation is lately. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'm kind of in
What else
charge
we
of the
got?
front plants.
Oh, really?
I have to water them.
I wonder who it was that first came up with a house and said, you know what we need?
Plants. Got to have plants.
What about just having grass that goes right up to the door?
Right to the wood of the house.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened? What's wrong with that idea? But the plants. We got to have plants. Because you know what? You got to have different plants the next year.
That's right.
It's not
Can't
like,
have the same plants.
It's not like you plant your plants and then they're done for 10 years. You do it again next year.
Do you have tomato plants?
No, we don't. We don't have any veggies.
You know what we have at our house?
What?
So the boys and I have a chuckle because she's got the stuff all around, but we've got rabbits all over the place.
They're having a good time.
And it's the all-you-can-eat salad buffet outside of our house.
Have you seen the rabbits with the horn on their head?
I haven't seen those yet.
Apparently, it's a deformed situation with rabbits. It's going around.
Locally here?
Yeah, and I got
So
some.
they're going to be violent?
They're not attractive.
No.
You
But
got the thing.
so I was, because the wife was still up watching TV at 1 in the morning.
I missed that storm. I slept right through it.
I went down to the dungeon
Yeah,
to sleep, and that's where we got the big window well.
yeah.
Something in there. I don't know what it is. I didn't want to look.
An animal?
Oh, and some kind
Dead?
No, making noise.
Really?
Like he wants to get out.
Ooh.
But
Well, go help
if it's
him
a
out.
rabbit,
Yeah.
then he's had it.
Yeah.
But the squirrels can climb out, and some of the other
So
ones
it
can
wasn't
climb
a squirrel.
out. Could have been a squirrel. Could have been a squirrel.
Did you hear this while you were trying to nod off?
Yeah, the scratching. Like,
Oh, I
help
don't
me
like
out.
that.
Help me out here.
Jeez.
I once called. We had something in there once. I thought it was a fox or something. But I called the guy, the exterminator, to come, and it was just a possum or something.
I had to get up early today, and at 5:30 in the morning, coyote crossing the street.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few.
Yep. They're out there.
Well, didn't you guys didn't the city of St. Paul have a welcoming summit of some type?
We had a booth in Vegas where all the wild animals met, and we passed out literature telling them what a fine park system we have.
Okay, we got. So they. I bet that big Highland Park's got a few coyotes.
Oh, I'm
right
telling you, there's more wildlife than there is in Ely.
Oh yeah, yeah. But to bring up the rabbits, I've never seen as many rabbits. as
Neither
there
have
are.
I.
I think they were when the weather was good. When the winter is taking place, they can't go. They can't get together,
Right.
because the guy can't get aroused.
Guy can't get through the snow.
It's
too cold.
It's too cold.
Too
He
cold.
he can't serve his function.
That's right.
But this winter, they must have just been rabbiting
Maybe that's
all
it.
winter.
Yeah.
It must have been rabbiting.
All winter, because they're all over the place.
They really are.
Yeah. I'm big on, if I'm still up at 1 in the morning and there's garbage in the kitchen, I'll
Yeah.
take it out and throw
Yeah.
it in the garbage. And it looks like a rabbit.
You know what I've been getting the last couple nights? An owl.
Ooh, I like
like that.
I like owls.
But
except
wouldn't you
they'll-
think the owl
they'll
would be
kill
taking
one
care of
the
the
children
rabbits?
if they're small enough.
Well, why aren't they taking care of the rabbits?
What's an owl going to do to a rabbit?
Owls?
Pick it
Oh,
up,
they'd eat
take
the
it
rabbit
away.
the rabbit in a heartbeat.
They're too big.
Owls?
I don't.
An owl is a
upon the
raptor.
size
They
of
got
the
big
rabbit.
claws.
I got to look this
Oh,
up.
God, they're great.
Yeah, they're raptors. An owl will take a rabbit home.
When Jim Ricey was a youth, he was a collector of wild ducks.
Yes.
And he had a big pen out in the back, and he was working, and he was spending damn near all his money on various varieties of ducks. But he didn't put a lid on his pen.
Who got them?
And the neighborhood owl got them and killed them all just for fun.
Rabbits are a valuable source of food for almost all owl species.
Well, you doubted me?
I did doubt you. So.
What was the doubt?
I don't know.
They're huge.
They come down, they grab them, and then they take them up in the air and shake them, and then they take them back to the
In fact,
kids.
well-fed owls will often eat only the heads of their prey.
Well, that I didn't know.
So they're sadists, too.
Yeah, they're mean. That's what they are.
Boy, this has been a...
Can't you just eat the rabbit? You got to be a bleep hole.
This has been a great sports conversation today. I think it's time for the pause.
I was going to ask you quickly before you do the pause. You mentioned the Hall of Fame this weekend. Are we going to have a large contingent heading to Cooperstown for Joe?
I'm not sure. I would imagine. Yeah, Lavelle's covering for us. I'm going on my own.
But
With
fans,
the
you
bride.
think fans?
Oh, yeah, I bet there'll be. I
Remember
bet
the
we'll
year
have
Kirby
1,000
went
there.
in? You
Yes.
were there. And
Oh,
I was
God,
there.
yes. We had a great
and
time.
Didn't the poll ads throw a party for Kirby at some lakeside
Yes,
mansion
they,
type
and
deal?
they did the same. Yes, and they did the same for Tony and Cott, and they're going to do the same for Joe.
I wonder if it's
They
going to
got
be at the same place.
Yes, same place. Saturday night.
That's a
Yeah.
neat place, whatever
Oh, God.
it is.
The turnout for Cott and Tony was fantastic, too.
Yeah.
We must have had 500-600 people.
Oh, cool.
The
Joe
kid,
McKeon, Jack McKeon, who coached Tony as the first year in the
cool.
minor leagues, was there telling stories.
last week a grandkid played in Cooperstown. Guess what the old man's hotel was?
The railroad?
The Otsego.
Oh, man.
Isn't that the one?
Yes, that's the one that.
That's a nice one.
That's what do you get in there for? About
I have no
300 a
idea.
night
I
or
don't know.
something? Yeah.
I'm surprised he had a room.
But
Of course,
now
if
for
it's
the
not
odds-
If
for
it's
the
not Hall of Fame weekend.
if it's not Hall of Fame, it's
yeah,
no
and then
big
the
deal.
Hall of Fame, all the Hall of Famers get a room.
Yeah.
That come back, and then. But if you're going into the hall, you only get 2 rooms.
Yeah.
They damn near put Tony in bankruptcy because he had like 10. He had to find 8 other rooms for the people who went out there for him. You know, so.
Well, did you rent a house, or what was the deal?
This time we rented a house. Last time we stayed in Utica last time.
Okay.
Next to the Save the Met young, who's still together, Julian and his guys.
Yeah.
And there was alcohol served by these gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the groups was in next to my room at the hotel. Marty, whatever his name is. And at 3 a.m., Marty was loudly doing his Sid impersonation, and I had to go over and knock on the door and say, "Could we please stop this now? Uncle Pat needs his sleep here tonight." But
Did they tone it down then?
yeah, they were.
Marty shows up at a lot of GL events.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Marty. They were used to be redheaded.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
he is anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, Marty was overserved by 9 p.m. and was still going at 3. So it was kind of
Who got inducted for that one? Molitor?
leaving and Cott.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
2 of my guys. I love them. Tony's my all-time favorite.
We could do the Valley Group here, sir.
Let's do the Valley Group and then get the hell out of Dodge. Our new sports editor is introducing himself to the staff at 3 o'clock, so I might stop by. Maybe they'll have the letter for me when I get there. We have decided to move on after all these years.
Enjoy this weekend
No,
in
you
Cooperstown.
just signed a contract.
I know I have a contract, but I think in that contract it probably says we can get rid of you at a moment's notice.
They're not going to.
Do you have a
I don't say
contract?
it.
No.
You don't have a contract.
No.
You just keep writing, and they just
keep sending a check.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way to go. All right, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. We have low interest rates, 0.9, 1.9 with the old proverbial if you qualify. And we also have big factory rebates back. They were out after the pandemic. You weren't getting those factory rebates. In fact, some dealers who couldn't be trusted were trying to charge more than the factory recommended price. Not Jim Paul and Brett Paul at the Valley Group of GM dealers. They were honest then, and they are honest now and easy to work with. Fully stocked, 4 different kinds of SUV, Buicks, Yukons, the whole deal. Everything's back. All the stock is back. No matter how many kids you have to take to hockey practice, there's an SUV there for you that will fit the hockey bags. Anyway. This is Ricey, and I recommend highly Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers, my guys in Apple Valley, and also in Hastings. What do you think of taking a 5-day break for the All-Star game? They now don't start playing again until Saturday. I think it's ridiculous.
Aren't there games Friday?
There aren't any Friday games. You got to have the home 3-game series coming up. The All-Star game's supposed to hype interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you say, we won't be playing again until 4 days. The players want an extra day off. The hell with the players.
The All-Star game's Tuesday night.
Yes.
I'd have a home series Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, that isn't working because we've always Wednesday. There used to be a few Thursday games if they had rainouts.
Is that basically
But
back
now-
when guys would leave the game in the 3rd inning and head to their planes and stuff? Because
They still do that. But back in the day, in the 60s, look them up. Willie Mays played 9 about 4 straight World Series. Aaron, they all played 9. They were trying to win. Now they now we don't try to win. Although it remains the best of a mediocre crop of
for sure.
All-Star games because they at least play the game.
Where are we? Dallas, right? Are we?
Dallas,
yeah.
Arlington.
But Correa's not going now.
I think he's going, but he's not going to play. I think he might go to get in.
Was he going to be the starter, the starting shortstop?
No, he was the starting shortstop is Gunnar Henderson, the kid
that
from
kid's
the
good.
Orioles.
That kid's good.
It's fantastic, but they had a pretty good replacement for him, Seager, who's a hometown guy for the Rangers. So, but I think Ray is going. Maybe he's not.
How about the brawl with the O's and the Yanks the other night?
Ooh, that was serious. They don't like each other.
No, they do not.
They don't.
They do not.
That's
like
becoming very intense rivalry.
Yes, it is. And the Orioles aren't playing great right now. And the Yankees just came out of a spell where they were playing terrible.
But I like when teams like that are good because Baltimore's a good baseball town.
Well, when they, when they're good,
when they're
good, they're, it's, they got. I don't know how they can keep it together, but man, they got young players. They got 5 or 6 of them that are Rutschman and Henderson, and they got 3 or 4 other guys that are young and good. So, yeah, they used to be fun. Of course,
you're here for one reason.
When Earl was winning 100 games a year, they'd only draw about 1.1 million because Memorial Stadium.
But that was the way all baseball was.
Yeah, that's true. Memorial Stadium was the worst place.
I loved that stadium.
Did you?
I did.
Hot, though.
I was in the middle of a neighborhood, remember?
Yeah, oh, God, yes. Yeah. Park. If you parked over at Eastern High School next door, they parked back to back. So if you were in the front row or the back row, you just had to wait.
How close is it to where the ballpark is now?
Not anywhere near.
Nowhere near? Okay.
You always tell the story about Harmon, though.
We're leaving there one night. We're leaving there one night.
Into the middle of the ghetto.
Foggy and misty. And Harmon Killebrew said, I got to get off the next corner. I'm looking around.
There had to be a mile to the.
Christ, we weren't even near downtown.
No.
And off he went into the mist and the fog and disappeared. And I had no idea what the hell was going on.
The other option was to pay for a cab.
Right. To this day, I don't know where he went.
No, but he lived.
He didn't die that night.
Right, we saw him the next day.
Yeah.
Walked. I wasn't there, but I can see it. He's walking into because I've seen him walk. I saw
we just lost Harmon.
I had the feeling he wasn't walking back to the hotel.
Yeah, well,
maybe he had a meeting or something.
No, I bet he was walking to the hotel because the bus was going to the airport, right?
Oh, maybe that was
right?
it. Maybe that was it.
He wasn't flying out till the next day.
Right. That was it.
Yeah. The bus
That dropped me off here. What the hell?
Good luck.
Hall of Famers getting out in the fog and it's dangerous.
Yes, and
and,
Baltimore back then is not quite as dangerous as it is now, but it was still the wire,
So I have a question, Pat, because you wrote about Harmon last week, and the photo that
I didn't write about it. That was an old column that I just.
Or I'm sorry. So I saw it resurface last week, but the photo that accompanied it was the famous image of him hitting the home run at Met Stadium in the All-Star game.
Yes.
But the statue, it's not. It's close, but it's not the. I thought that was supposed to be.
That is it. That is the thing that they use. Because you look at it from the back, and the famous photo was taken from the back.
Okay.
I think John Croft might have taken it.
Yeah.
But it was taken from the back, and it ran in the paper.
Okay.
And Harmon, when the guy wanted to do this sculpture, he said that use that picture. He gave him that picture he used. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was 6:30 in the morning, and I woke up, and I was contemplating nothing, and I started thinking about Harmon. And I looked up to see when Harmon had died. I forgot when he died. Esophageal cancer, which is the worst thing to go through pain-wise.
He never smoked or anything that I knew
Never
of.
smoked. Never. Oh, he did smoke, but really young guy. He quit. I think in '65 there was a picture of him drinking beer and smoking a cigarette in the Victoria's clubhouse, and he got a lot of heat about that from parents. And I don't know, he might have still haven't had a beer once in a while, but he gave up the cigarettes in '65, and so he was what 30 then, maybe 30 years old, not even 30. I think he was. Maybe 28. But he had 3 or 4 straight years here where he led the American League in home runs. And he had the year he had 49, he actually hit 50. But that bad umpire was the first African American umpire. What was his name? Remember him?
I remember him. I sure as hell
guy, I
don't
can't remember what his
name
name was. Harmon hit one in Fenway that hit on that big track and jumped that. It went into the center field seats. So, and this guy thought it, and there's no replay, of course.
Emmett Ashford?
Emmett Ashford. This guy thought it hit the warning track and jumped in, and he gave him a ground rule double.
Really?
Yeah. And you could go out and scream and you holler, but
what good was it going to do?
Even if the game was on TV, they weren't going to look at it. So nobody was.
How things have changed.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't see him on TV.
I don't know. WNBA, by the way, they have a replay problem because these 3 morons go over there to look at a replay in the middle of the third quarter.
Oh, no.
And take 7 minutes. They're unbelievable. Make up your mind.
Plus, it's basketball. It's not really complicated.
No,
is it .6
in the middle of the third quarter, what the hell difference does it make whose possession it is?
But is it 0.2 seconds or 0.6?
Yeah, that's the one I like. Usually they only do that one in the last 2 minutes. But this one, they were trying to find out whose possession it was halfway through the third quarter.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? We're getting close to primetime preview, aren't we? Are we going to have...
Oh, the Olympics, yeah. How am I
Is there a
gonna
big
do
time difference?
7 hours. Yeah, they'll have
those were
stuff.
the days.
I don't know.
I've never been part of primetime preview.
Oh, the primetime preview.
I want you to do primetime preview on Monday Night Sports
Yes, we
Talk.
will, but here's the deal. I think it's all live on one of these other channels, and then they have the taped show at night.
Yeah.
But when they were preserving it so that the only time you could watch it was the secret of primetime preview was that you would be in the middle of some conversation.
No, it
and
would
say,
be, yeah.
by the way, Oksana Buell won the.
No, you would do
film."
it. Here's how you would do it because you were just the best troll ever.
Yeah.
Twins lost a couple tough ones to the Giants. And, Michael Phelps won another goal.
Yes, right. You know what? In the bottom.
But didn't people call here and complain?
Oh, God, they would just bench. It was fantastic.
You know what? My bottom line on the Ricey, what do we call ourselves? The Ride with Ricey?
Yes, sir.
Show. I think the failure was that the idea was to agitate the audience.
Right.
I don't think that was a winning philosophy.
No, that didn't work. I mean, it did work. You irritated the audience.
We did, and yeah, we did succeed in agitating the audience. It just didn't work for long, Jenny. Did you see my line the other day, by the way? When I wrote my Saturday column was about the guy from Trinidad and Tobago, the sprinter, and I pointed out that how much fun we had with when Trinidad and Tobago
We're at a disadvantage.
beat the U.S. because we had to play against both of them.
Right, both countries combined.
I pointed that out, and I said, which
That's
got
like an all-star
I
team.
said, which gave us a lot of guffaws as we built momentum for cancellation. Something like that. Anyway, that's it.
All right.
Let's wrap her up.
Good enough.
All right. Patrick Racy here for the Canopy Group. As you set out to explore Minnesota this summer, don't we all do that? Think about this. There are 234 cities in Minnesota with populations over 2,500. And the Canopy Group currently has clients in all but 7 of those. The Canopy Group's experience in all of these Minnesota cities gives them a unique edge in getting you the best home and auto insurance coverage at the best price. The Canopy Group offers 16 insurance companies to match your specific situation, including your zip code, with the absolute best insurance company for you. This is done for you annually because your specific situation may change. It is also true that the insurance companies' appetites might change as well, and you might have to change insurance companies. This experience working throughout Minnesota provides thousands of Canopy Group clients the peace of mind knowing the Canopy Group is working for you. Please visit thecanopygroup.com today.